Our second spotlight speaker is Peter Charkalis. And listen to this. Former staff writer for The Late Late Show with Craig Kilborn and Ferguson. He has supplied material to Jay Leno, Saturday Night Live, Lola Gillibard, Peggy O'Neill, senators, toll booth collectors, and some guy named Carl. I mean, this guy's clearly earned his stripes. He's also a humor consultant, currently contributes material to David Letterman and the country's top Barack Obama impersonator, and he just now broke the NSA record for name dropping in an introduction. Let's welcome Peter Charkalis.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jim, for that excellent introduction that I wrote. How many people here remember those math word problems from high school? Show of hands? Right. Here's one for you. John Smith self-published 5,000 copies of his book entitled Never Start a Speech with a Math Word Problem. Now, his mom bought 20 copies. His son used 50 to build a fort. How many does he have left sitting in his garage? Thought you would appreciate that. So, I had a friend in high school, Mark Johnson, and the way he would attack these word problems is not by using any shortcuts or trying to solve it right away. He would ask one important question. What information do I have? What are the facts in my problem? This is the approach that I use in comedy writing. For example, next week, President Obama will be in New York City attending a Broadway fundraiser. So if I'm going to write jokes about that, I want to know everything about President Obama. I want to know about fundraisers and money. I want to know about Broadway shows, Tony Awards, New York City. As many things as I can write down before I actually start the writing process. When I used to go into work for Craig Kilborn on staff, I didn't want to be overwhelmed with these topics and just the information inside the topic. So I needed a series of reference points outside the topic. Here's what I'm talking about. I group them into 3 different categories. The first one is, what are the personal experiences of the late night host? Second, what are the trends or ongoing current events? And third, I said third, what are the things going on in the show environment or the speaking environment? So this is a strategy that I used. I'm going to fast forward to Letterman. Let's say Sunday night, I want to supply material to Letterman. I have an idea of what the topics are going to be for the week, but I want to have this base list, this pre-list set so that if I get stuck, I have something to refer to. So for example, things going on in Dave's personal life. It could be as mundane as he took his son to the beach. He helped someone change a flat tire, or it could be a big deal. It could be something like he had another bypass surgery, or he bungee jumped off the top of Tony Robbins. One of those types of things. Now, if you recall, Dave had a problem a few years ago. He had some inappropriate relationships with some interns. Well, this made the top of my pre-list. And this happened in October. So the joke I wrote was, well, it's fall. Earlier today, I was raking my hate mail because people weren't happy with him. The second thing is, what are the trends? Like people are tweeting, they're friending on Facebook. What are the ongoing current events? The problems in Greece, there's a presidential election, summer. I like to use holidays. One November, Dave did a show the night before Thanksgiving, and airline pilots happened to be in the news at the time. So I merged the 2 topics. I said, today is the busiest travel day of the year. Airports are so crowded, pilots are sitting 2 to a bar stool. God bless our pilots. The third thing is what's going on in the speaking environment. Now, so for Dave, he tapes from New York City. So on a larger scale, we're talking about New York City. There's sporting events, there's entertainment, there's celebrities, there's UN conferences, a lot going on. He also likes to use the Ed Sullivan Theater on a smaller scale. He likes to make fun of the fact that the room is cold. He integrates the audience. He likes to make fun of the guest. Regis Philbin was a frequent guest on the show. And I knew this ahead of time. I did my research. And so I said, Regis is on the show tonight. But don't clap too loudly. You'll turn off the lights in his dressing room. Poor Regis. So what's the point I'm trying to make? I think if we want to add humor as speakers, we need to think like late-night TV hosts. Ask the same question: what information do I have? What do I have within my speech, and what can I take from outside my speech to have more reference points and to generate more ideas? Why do this? Well, I think if you can use personal experiences, if you don't already use them in your speech, it makes you more conversational. If you can use current events and trends, it makes you seem more in the moment. And if you can use your room or your environment, then it makes you seem spontaneous. And preparing for spontaneity is a whole nother thing. So I think one thing as speakers we take for granted is our speaking environment. We don't speak in a vacuum. It's not just the speech. You're a person, you're an audience, things happen in the audience. We're in a room, things happen in the room, there's stuff in the room. We're in a hotel, the hotel's in a city. So we have all these other points where we can go to tie in to our speech. What I do with clients is I raise their awareness. I give them a game plan or a mindset to help them integrate these elements into their speech so they can have more humor. I was going to close with a great tip on how to use humor at the end of a speech, but I have to get these books out of my garage. Thank you very much.